I'm not sure the exact number of people that died that day, but I know a lot of people died, so like if there was like families, probably would have been more kids if that didn't happen. And it's just, it amazes me, like I said a million times already, but it just hits me by shock.
I mean, I think I started realizing that 9/11 was a thing around elementary school, but started understanding it around middle school.
During the moment of silences, especially when you're when you're so young, a lot of people kind of just like do it because they're told to, not necessarily because they understand what they're doing it for, or because they have like sympathetic connections to what happened.
I've never seen the Twin Towers like actually there because I wasn't born then. It's just like a weird feeling inside to think about that something that massive happened right before I was born, like a year before.
I can see the Freedom Tower from where I live. My mom was, we were looking out the window and she kind of implied that there was something in that spot. She was, implying that the Twin Towers were there and that something happened.
My mom worked in 6 World Trade, all connected to the South Tower when it had happened. She was on the 3rd floor getting breakfast when she felt the building shift. She made it out, so she's fine, but she was there when it happened.
And I saw it on all these different channels, like the memorial service. I was like, hey, Mom, what's going on? What's happening? And she was like, oh, this really crazy thing happened on September 11th. And I was like, oh, okay. That was weird. And then through school, I started learning more and more, and then I realized how terrible it really was.
As a person who was so young when 9/11 happened, was there a particular photograph or piece of video that you carry with you as a defining image of what happened?
It almost made me almost like I was watching a movie. I didn't make the connection that this is what actually happened. It was more like I was watching a film where a plane was crashing into 2 buildings and then it collapsed and there was smoke and there was fire and there was people yelling in the background of the news footage.
I saw people jumping out of the building. In my mind, I was like, that's crazy that they thought jumping off the building was like their only option.
Probably the video that you see people jumping out, that you see people flying out and bodies all over in suit on the floor.
When people were waving their clothes, their shirts, or things like that out the window, and that stuck with me. It was just like a loneliness.
Having no memory of the cause of the reality is like, that's a thing that happens a lot, right? September 11th caused a lot of things happened all around the world because of it, and it's events like that happen. Things that are like so catastrophic, they change the world, but there's nothing we can do about that. So we just kind of live in the different world.
The Homelander generation are the kids who grew up in America of Homeland Security. We don't know what it's like to not have like police officers in the subways or like on every corner.
Like we were supposed to learn something from 9/11 and be more watchful and understanding of terrorism and how it can be presented. Being more mindful and aware has created people has made people have a new view of situations or events or other people, and made people more judgmental.
I was talking with my friend the other day about how just going into a new highly populated area like a mall or a movie theater or New York City, there's a lot more on our heads. Definitely like growing up in a time afterwards, because we're so young and we have so much ahead of us, it's a lot more scary for us to think that if we're in the wrong place at the wrong time, our lives could be affected immensely, or even just our lives taken away from us.
What do you think America was like before 9/11 happened?
I think it would have been kind of like a scene from a movie where everything is like just peaceful, or nothing really, like nobody's really thinking about anything happening. Everybody would just kind of not worry as much as they do now because of what happened.
People kind of thought before 9/11, oh, nothing can get in our soil. We're indestructible. Nothing can touch us. And then after 9/11, they realized how vulnerable they really were.
The little kids I talk to, like my nephew, he's only 6 years old, and I don't know if he knows about that, but I'm not sure if I want him to know, because it's something that'll like really like make him think about like how the world is, and he's just 6 years old, so I don't know, maybe in the future when he's like my age.
I don't think it's ever gonna go away, because there's been so many effects. It's impossible to forget all of it. So even when I'm 50, it's something that should be thought of. It's not something that should be just forgotten. It's something that it's gonna be there. It's gonna be less, but I think it's still gonna be there.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.